Hey, you guys, so I'm back with another quick message from the Lord. This message is based upon a dream, and wanted to come give it because God dropped it back in my spirit while I was working. So I took a break so I can stop to record it. All right, so you guys know that most of us has been fasting, especially all the way up to like Passover and stuff like that. And we can always expect to be attacked during a fast when you're starting a fast. But God is showing me when His children is coming off of the fast from fasting, from after Passover and stuff like that, how the devil is waiting to set them up when it comes to their eating habits. Okay, it's like the devil is trying to trick God's children into going back into bad eating habits, going back into things that they shouldn't be doing. Um, After the fast to try to trick them with food. Okay, so this attack is coming after the fast. All right, after you come off a fast, this attack is coming. If you haven't came off of this attack, if you haven't came off of this fast already, or if you already have, an attack is coming to God's children, to certain ones, because the devil is trying to trick you with food. If God has gave you a specific thing to do when it comes to food and what food to eat and where to eat, be obedient, because the devil is sitting waiting for a lot of God's children to come off of the fast of what He's been telling them to fast. Okay. Like I said, some of us He told us to fast up until the Passover. Some of us He told us to fast to the end of the month. Everybody have different fasting instructions. But what I've seen specifically in the um, dream is how the enemy is trying to set up camp after the fast to attack God's children through food. Be very, very, very careful. You can't eat everywhere. You can't eat everything. All right. So, like I said, just be very, very careful where you eat. Okay. If God has told you to start prepping and preparing your meals at home, do that. Like I said, y'all, we have people that takes pleasure in coming against God's children. We have people that takes pleasure of trying to hurt and harm God's children. We see this all throughout the Bible, the different gods and stuff like that, the different demonic spirits who take pleasure in trying to do things to God's children. Be very, very careful where you are eating. Be very, very careful what you are eating, because there's certain foods that God has told His children not to eat during this time. Don't go back to eating those foods if He told you not to eat those foods. It's for your protection, all right? So be very mindful, be very careful where and what you are eating after you come off the fast. If God has told you to change your diet while you was on a fast, you might want to continue to stick to that diet, all right? Because whenever I seen the people, because I was trying to warn them in a dream, they wasn't listening to me. They thought it was crazy, but I saw the food, and what they saw is not what I saw. I saw how the food was toxic. I saw how the food was not properly cooked to where it was set up to make God's children sick. To where when they was coming off the fast, they were just decided to go back to eating regularly. They wasn't taking the time to actually observe the food and look at the food and make sure the food was up to par for it to be edible. Just because some food looks good doesn't mean that it's cooked all the way done and it's cooked properly and stuff like that. And that's how it was in this dream. So be very, very careful, you guys, where you are eating, what you are eating, things of that nature, because it's an attack of the enemy. All right. Um, what I used to do after fasting, I don't go completely off my fast. Like, I gradually come off of my fast. Like, I gradually start. If God tells me to if God tells me to do a specific diet while I'm fasting, I will gradually start putting certain foods back into my diet. Like, I don't go all the way out and just eat different things, because fasting actually helps you get the toxins and stuff out your body too as well. It helps your body to do a reset. So I'll be very mindful once I come off of a full blown fast, like, not to put back the same toxins in my body that God has detoxify out my body, because when we're fasting, our body gets detox. Our body kind of goes through a form of deliverance and getting all the things that's not good for our body and our spirit out. So what I was seeing in the dream is the devil wanted to set out different plots through food to get that same toxic food and stuff back into your system. Um, and you got to understand, when we eat certain things, it can make the warfare attacks stronger. I know when a lot of people, when they are going up under a whole bunch of warfare, especially with me, like what I have noticed is that I have to switch up what I'm drinking and eating, because especially like I noticed with even other people, if they drink caffeine, a lot of caffeine or whatever, caffeine is not good for your body anyway. But when they start going through warfare, they notice that the warfare attacks and attempts are more harder, or more stronger. And when they change their diet, as far as they take the caffeine out, they drink more fruits, they eat more fruits and vegetables, drink more water and juices, like 100% juices, the warfare attempts or the attacks is not as strong anymore. So we have to be very, very mindful too, because like I said, everything is not good for our bodies. Certain things that we eat put toxins in our bodies. Um, and that can kind of open the door for us to be attacked. Overeating, we're not supposed to be overeating, and that could have been that, and that too could be a thing that God is trying to tell His children. Don't go back to excessively overeating. Gluttony is sin. That's open a door for the devil to come in and attack. So we don't want to have no open doors. We want to make sure that we're doing what we're doing after we come off of these fasts. Like I said, you might want to gradually start introducing the foods, certain foods back into your system. If God told you go on a certain diet or eat a certain um, go on a certain dietary plan when it comes to fasting, because He give everybody different instructions for your body. Everybody's body is not the same. All right, so be very, very mindful, you guys, after fasting, about possible attacks when it can come to food. All right, so I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day, and I will chat with you all later.